This one could get sketchy.
We've got the Vevor Ultrasonic Cleaner filled up with avgas. Yes, you heard that right, avgas. 3, 2, 1. Oh my God. What's up, everyone? Welcome to Lowered Expectations. Thanks for lowering your expectations and hanging out with me here. I do appreciate it. In today's video, we are going to be cleaning some parts in my Vevor Ultrasonic Cleaner. But before we get into that, I need to say that cleaning parts in gasoline is not wise, especially in an ultrasonic cleaner. Not only is gasoline highly flammable, but it also off-gasses some nasty fumes that are really bad for your health. Doing this in an ultrasonic cleaner only makes the situation worse as it off-gasses even more. Although the cleaning results in this video are very impressive, it is not worth losing your garage, your house, or your life over. The long-term side effects of breathing gas fumes in are extremely nasty, so I would highly suggest finding a different cleaning solution. The footage from this video has actually sat on a shelf for quite some time because I was frustrated about a GoPro glitch. Not only did I lose some after shots of cleaning the transmission parts, but I lost most or all of the before shots of my classic Austin Mini parts. And you can't go back and reshoot that stuff after they've already been cleaned. The classic Mini is a 76, and these bolts were from that original engine that very likely had never been cleaned. So you can't go back and redo that. That being said, there is still a really good representation of how well the gasoline cleaned, and I thought I would share this with you guys anyway. Of course, if you're interested in purchasing one of these Vevor Ultrasonic Cleaners for yourself, they have all sorts of options. Everything from very small ones to very large ones. There will be an affiliate link in the description below, as well as a discount code. If you use that affiliate link, it helps me out as I get a small kickback. If you want to see a review of this Vevor product, there will be a link here, as well as one in the description below. I've got some transmission valve body parts here off of an old Dodge truck. I'm going to clean these up for my buddy. I think the perfect cleaning solution for these will be gasoline, and so that's what I'm going to do. This one won't fit completely in the cleaner, so I'm actually going to have to do it in a couple of sessions. The worst of this crud is kind of down in all the little cracks and crevices where the camera can't actually fully see everything, but the ultrasonic cleaner will have no problem getting all that stuff out. We've got the Vevor Ultrasonic Cleaner filled up with avgas. Yes, you heard that right, avgas. And I've got some Dodge 727, A727 transmission parts in here. We're going to try cleaning them out. I'm really excited to try this. I think some fun stuff could happen. I'm a little bit nervous at the same time because this is the first time I've actually had gas inside of the chamber and not just in bottles. But we're going to get in a little bit closer here and see if we see any bubbling action or maybe just some cleaning action. All right, we're going to power it on. 3, 2, 1. Oh my God. Watch in there. That was insane.
Just wait.
That was insane. Like less than 3 seconds and it was just like, boosh. I doubt you'll get it with a camera. Okay, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's cloudy now, but the first time it went from like blue clean just to like whoosh. So crazy.
Well, even how dirty it's gotten.
All right, look at the stuff coming around the top.
And like
Crazy.
you looking at those cases, they didn't look that dirty.
Look dirty. It's like, where did the dirt come from? That is crazy. I bet that would light up pretty quick. You put a match over the top of it. As you guys can probably tell, we were so blown away by these results that we kind of forgot that we were supposed to be filming a video and just started chatting amongst ourselves. I actually left the camera running accidentally for several hours, and editing through this footage was a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah, like you can see
just the churning. Like, I don't think filming it will do it justice at all, but like we're just getting to the 3-minute mark now, and it's... In some previous videos I made about my ultrasonic cleaner, I had a few people accuse me of trying to hide how loud the cleaner is by either cutting the clip short after the cleaner starts or by cutting the audio out altogether. Although the sound of the ultrasonic cleaner isn't terribly pleasant, it is not that loud, and I often just drown it out in the background. You can clearly tell that I'm having to talk louder when the heater comes on versus when the ultrasonic cleaner comes on. The reason why I edit those sounds out is because, well, ultrasonic waves do really funny things with camera microphones. For those of you who are disappointed I didn't leave these sounds in, this next section is for you. Everyone else, feel free to skip it. If you think I should leave these sounds in, let me know in the comment section.
or even how dirty it's got.
Oh, that's weird. The fumes are condensing on the lid and now they're drying off. Oh, oh! Smells like a paint booth in here. Probably shouldn't have let it settle for so long after it shut off, because this...
Well, I think if anything, most of it will have to get flipped over
and run again, yeah. How clean that is.
This is a valve body. It's inside the transmission.
Yeah.
So all of that black is friction material out of the clutches.
Ah, yeah. Take them out nice and quick, like, so they don't have stuff settling on them. Did better like that. I guess it was only there for like 8 minutes that way. As I mentioned earlier in this video, I did lose some footage because of a GoPro glitch. Unfortunately, that means I don't have any more footage of the transmission parts after they were cleaned, but I'm sure you can tell from the footage that you just watched that the results were pretty incredible. More disappointing is I lost the footage of the classic mini bolts before they were cleaned, and I really wanted to show that to you guys because a lot of these parts were unrecognizable. Some of them you couldn't even tell what they were, and the bolts you couldn't tell what size head they were or what type of head it was. So very disappointed, but what can you do? I just got finished cleaning a carburetor in this gasoline. I've now transferred it over to another bottle, and I'm going to clean some stuff that will surely make this gasoline look pretty gross. I am going to clean this bicycle freewheel or cassette. I forget what they call these, but it has got a ratcheting mechanism, and it's got bearings and all sorts of stuff. And you can't really get in there to clean that out unless you take it apart. And if you take it apart, you may never get it back together again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop this into the gasoline very carefully as not to make a splash. I'm also going to drop this bearing in. This is a bearing that will probably never get used again. It is out of a jack. I had it kicking around in my bearing drawer and just noticed that it was damaged. It has a bunch of really gross looking grease in it. And as you guys can hear, it doesn't sound great. So I'm going to drop this in there as well. Again, carefully. And I've got a bicycle chain. This is off of a mountain bike. So I'm going to drop all three of these things in there. All things that are fairly hard to clean. Things that you can't really get in, and yeah, without a whole lot of effort, you can't get in between all these little plates and rollers and stuff and clean them out. Enough yammering on. Let's put these pieces in the jar. I'll drop the bearing in first. Oop, that wasn't very slick, was it? Now the sprocket. And the chain. Already the gas is kind of eating away at the grease. We are set to go. I'm going to put the lid on the jar, not tightly because I don't want to seal it. It's going to make a lot of vapors when the gas warms up, and I don't want to have the lid blow off or anything. So let's pop it in here. I'm not going to turn the heater on because, again, I don't want too much heat. And I don't want it tipping over, so I'm actually going to put this piece of lead on top of the lid so it stabilizes it. And then I'm going to turn it on. Half an hour, here we go. Half an hour has passed after seeing what the gasoline and the ultrasonic cleaner did with the carburetor. I am quite curious to see what we got for results on this test with all of our bicycle bits and that bearing. So quite clearly we've got some cleaning action going on there because this gasoline does not look very gasoline-y anymore. It looks very dirty. Let's see how the Vevor Ultrasonic Cleaner did. I think I might have to just reach in there, but let's try to get this chain out. I should probably have something to set this stuff on, but for now I'll just set it. Okay, it cleaned this off extraordinarily well. It did not clean off the rust, understandably. So what we'll do is drop it in the CLR after I blow it off with some compressed air, and we'll see if we can deal with that rust. What I could do, I suppose, is pour the gasoline into another container, and that would expose our parts. Genius. I'm going to blow these out with some compressed air because quite obviously they still have some gasoline inside them. But just by looking at what's left in the bottom of this jar and by looking at the color of the gasoline in this jar, you can tell that it did a heck of a job cleaning. Yeah, the camera won't be able to pick this up, but there is no grease left in there. And that is not surprising to me at all. As you guys can see, I broke the ball bearing open. This is no longer usable, but I haven't actually fully looked inside yet, but what I did see, this is perfectly clean in there. All right, pop that. I probably should have, whoa. I probably should have completed this off camera, but I wanted to open it while you guys were watching, so that you knew I wasn't faking anything. Turns out I don't have it ready to open. Let's see here. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I got it pried open. And as you guys can see, not even a speck of grease or grime in there. Completely, totally clean. Oh no. I was gonna show you the same thing. I took the sprocket apart. I took this sprocket apart, this ring comes off, and we are also perfectly clean inside of the sprocket. Just don't show that, Joel, because you just dumped the bearings all over your table. Okay, time to get a magnet and clean this mess up. The timer has gone. It actually went a little while ago, so let's pull the chain out and see what it looks like. Oh wow, well, all of the rust is gone off of it. This is our bicycle chain, and as you guys can see, all of the rust is gone off of the outside of it. It does have this hazy stuff that is left over on the outside. It simply wipes away. I'm not sure if the camera can pick that up, but it does wipe off pretty easily. The main thing is that the rust is all gone off of it, and all of the grease and grime is also gone. I have run the classic mini parts through the Vevor Ultrasonic Cleaner for half an hour inside this jar of gasoline. I'm now going to pour off a bunch of the gasoline into this jar and try to pick out some of these bolts and take a look at them. A bunch of them did have rust on them, so I'm assuming they're not going to be totally clean, but the idea here is we can get the grease off and then we can use some rust, calcium, and lime remover to deal with that other stuff. So let's try to pour away this gasoline here. Oh, we're making a bit of a mess. We're making a mess. This is not an ideal pouring container. Okay, that is pretty impressive. After half an hour in the Vevor Ultrasonic Cleaner, most of the grease and grime and stuff is gone. Keep in mind, this car is a 1976, and these bolts are from the original engine. It still does have some rust and stuff on there, but we're going to drop it in the gasoline for one more session in the Vevor Ultrasonic Cleaner for another half hour, just to get rid of as much of this grease and grime as we can before putting it in the CLR. And the CLR will take care of the rust, all of the coating that is only half on the bolts now, and all of the other oxides and stuff like that. So half an hour in this stuff again. Take a look at this bracket. Wow, that's a lot nicer. Let's see, rub that off just a little bit. Can actually see what that bracket is. I'm assuming that's going to come out really nice after we put it in the CLR as well. So half an hour more in the gasoline and the Vevor Ultrasonic Cleaner, and then some CLR. I finished cleaning some parts, and I decided to drain the fluid out really slowly to try to gather the sediment in the bottom of the tank. And well, it looks like it worked. This is what was left. And that is all sludge that came off of the pieces, or the parts. That is a lot of sludge. Fortunately, the Vevor tank is made out of 304 stainless steel that is really easy to clean up. So despite all of the really messy cleaning that I did, this thing ends up looking like new after a bit of wipe down. This is probably my favorite thing about the ultrasonic cleaner, is that these parts all got cleaned at the same time and took zero elbow grease. I didn't touch these things with a wire brush. The only time I touched them is to pick them up and put them into this container. In fact, I didn't even pick them up and put them in the container. I poured them in. The only ones I picked up were the ones that I wanted to show to the camera to show you guys how bad they actually were. So now what I'm going to do is show you a couple of those bolts. I remember showing you this one and saying that you couldn't even tell what the head of it was. I thought maybe it was one of those funny 12-point ones or something, because yeah, there was so much gross stuff on it you couldn't even tell what the head of the bolt was. And yeah, all of these just super nice and clean. So the trick for these, what I ended up doing, all these as well, like you couldn't even see the surface of this stuff, most of it. Anyway, what I ended up doing is I ran it in gasoline for half an hour. So I used the gasoline to get the grease and sludge off of them. And then I took all of them and I just put them back into the container with CLR, and I ran it for, I believe, it was probably an hour and a half or 2 hours, which might seem like a long time, but you know, I could do, it's not like you have to stand there for an hour watching them. I was actually in the house editing video while these things were being cleaned, so every now and then I would come outside, every half an hour I guess, I would come out, restart the machine, and this is what I'm left with. A whole bunch of really clean bolts that I didn't have to touch at all. These are all just spare bolts that I cleaned to see, how well the ultrasonic cleaner would work. And I planned on using this footage in the original ultrasonic cleaner test video, but I had way too much footage for it. Ultrasonic cleaners, awesome for cleaning small bits and pieces like this. No scrubbing or wire brushing or brake cleaner, anything like that. And another really cool thing, one more thing that I will say, is that the solution that I used for cleaning this, if I were to use brake and parts cleaner, it would be gone. I would have sprayed it on and it would be gone. But I have the jar of gas here that I can use for cleaning other stuff. It's still working perfectly fine. And I have and that blue jug is my CLR that I've used for cleaning several things now. As you guys can probably tell from that last clip, the Mr. Heater running in the background is actually substantially louder than the sound of the ultrasonic cleaner. It does do some funny things with camera microphones sometimes, but it's actually not that loud. Now that that's cleared up, I want to thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, remember to leave a thumbs up. And if you want to see more nonsense like this, be sure to subscribe. I'm not sure what I have planned for you guys next on this channel. I do have to do some garage wiring so that I can actually power up my CNC milling machine that I'm building. So that will be in a future video. Other than that, some diesel heater content coming up. I've got a silly project on the go as well as some testing. I received a glow plug for my heater today. So that is the last bit that I should need to get it up and running again. And other than that, if you're interested in picking up an ultrasonic cleaner, Vevor has a wide range of them from very small to very large. Again, affiliate link in the description below as well as a discount code. That is going to do it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.